This video is made possible thanks to the help of our fantastic patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you again for your support, it really means a lot to us. Not Gruul? Then die! Welcome back to Affinity for Commander, where today we're getting into the festive spirit with our latest entry into the best of the Multiverse series. We're looking at the red and green commanders today, and as always these lists are dictated by my own personal list of criteria, and no partner commanders will be included. Although with that one I'm not too broken up about, excluding a 4 mana 2/2 with trample. Now, on to the list. Number 5. Rurik Thrall, the Unbowed. For 4 generic mana, 1 red and 1 green, Rurik is a 6/6 legendary creature ogre warrior with vigilance and reach. He reads, Rurik Thrall the Unbound attacks each combat if able, and whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, Rurik Thrall deals 6 damage to that player. Whoa. 6 damage? As a control player, I feel personally victimized by this card. Just on the surface, a vigilant 6/6 creature swinging, well, not swinging, being pushed slightly forward every turn is perfectly fine in speeding the game up. But on top of that, if you want to deal with it, you have to double bolt yourself. Or heck, even if you just want to play a sorcery or enchantment. 6 damage? I do love the design though. Rurik also leads to a rather focused deck in that we don't want to be taking damage from him ourselves. As such, most of our draw, removal and ramp is attached to creatures. Cards such as Beast Whisperer and Soul of the Harvest allow us to draw whenever we play a creature. We ramp with the help of the usual elves. Our removal takes the form of Balefire Dragon, Gruul Rage Beast, or Steel Hellkite. We even have creature tutor cards such as Fauna Shaman. Having a massively creature-heavy deck can make the few non-creature spells we're running even more powerful. Primal Surge is the first one that comes to mind. Thank Urza it says May. Other non-creature includes our Lurking Predators and Zendikar Resurgent to further increase the value that our creatures provide. But really, Rurik is just a lovely, simple ogre who wants to get down with creatures and smash people in the face and ruin everyone's life totals. Big, stompy, and doesn't like non-creature spells. Definitely worth a spot on Gruul's list. Number 4. Ever get that feeling that your life of pure debauchery, otherworldly pleasures and hedonism is just too boring? So you decide to become a literal god to have more debauchery and hedonism? No? Well, in any case, here's Xena Gose at number 4. Xena Gose, God of Revels, is a 6/5 legendary enchantment creature god, for 3 generic mana, 1 red and 1 green. He is indestructible and reads, as long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7, Xena Gose isn't a creature. Seems kind of cheating to be a commander, but okay. Also, at the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is that creature's power. Now, enchantments in Commander are notoriously hard to deal with, but indestructible enchantments? Yeah, good luck with that. Xena Gose is probably the most Gruul commander on this list, making things bigger so that they can hit your opponents for a huge amount of damage? Yep, that's Gruul alright. The ramp does need to be hard in this deck so we can get out the big scaries as fast as possible. We include the usual culprits of Cultivate and Kodama's Reach, but we're playing purely big creatures, so cost reductions are a must. Goreclaw, Terror of Kual Sazam is an all-star here, with a cost-reducing effect, plus giving our huge creatures a buff, and the all-important damage-dealing keyword, Trample. For the main event, Xena Gose is looking for big creatures. No, bigger. I said bigger. Perfect. But having massive creatures means nothing if our opponents can just block them with a measly Saproling. Archetype of Aggression and Thunderfoot Baloth are two cards that perfectly solve this problem. Like I said, Xena Gose could well be the most Gruul commander here. Big, scary creatures that are going to hit you with haste, and it's going to hurt. Beautiful. Number 3. I'm going to come out with it now and admit this one is a strong personal vendetta of mine. The amount of ramp this deck pulls out just means the commander never stays dead, because the tax is meaningless. He makes a massive army that then hurt you when they die, and it's just a mess, honestly. Alex, you haven't mentioned what the commander is. I'm getting to it. Number 3 goes to Omnath, Locus of Rage. A 5/5 elemental for 3 generic mana, 2 red and 2 green. Omnath has landfall that reads, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 5/5 red and green elemental creature token onto the battlefield. And whenever Omnath, Locus of Rage or another elemental you control dies, Omnath deals 3 damage to target creature or player. What is it with Gruul commanders and dealing you damage for trying to stop them? Listen up, kids. Before Big Daddy Black Panther came around, this guy here was the king of landfall decks. Omnath is 50% landfall, 50% ramp, and takes 100% of my salt. Omnath requires all of the ramp in the world, not just to play him, but to make his army of 5/5s. For our landfall triggers, the fetch lands are obviously a big help, but so do lands like Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse. Adding 10 power to your board every turn with cards like these is insane value, especially if you just replay them over and over again with Raminab Excavator and Crucible of Worlds. The deck can also get in for even more damage with cards like Warstorm Surge or Where the Ancients Tread. With Omnath, the deck can even go into an elemental sub-theme. When Omnath is out, anytime our creatures die, we get to bolt something. Bane of Progress, Incandescent Soulstoke, and Flamekin Harbinger are a few of my favourites. Elementals are actually a lot more supported than you might think. When set up properly, Omnath is a real force to be reckoned with. Decks that run him tend to have more ramp than anyone else, which both fuels his landfall ability as well as landfall triggers of anything else in the deck. But this insane amount of land also aids in replaying the commander over and over again, making more and more 5/5s every turn. Yes, I am still salty about this card. Moving on swiftly. Number 2. Well, we've gone wide for damage and ramped for tokens, but what about combining the two to burn out our opponents? Wart the Raid Mother costs 4 generic mana, 2 hybrid red and green mana for a 3/3 legendary goblin creature shaman. She reads, when Wart the Raid Mother enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 red and green goblin warrior creature tokens, and each red and green instant or sorcery you cast has Conspire. For anybody that's not clued up on older mechanics, Conspire reads, as you cast this spell, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control that share a color with it. When you do, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. I absolutely love the design of Wart. Giving you 2 red and green goblin creature tokens to immediately use her Conspire giving ability is great. If she'd only made red goblins, then you wouldn't be able to Conspire great green cards such as Harmonize or Second Harvest. Which, by the way, what the heck is wrong with this card? Especially in Wart. It may as well read, after resolution, this spell's controller must tell their opponents if they've lost the game or not. With just your 2 starting goblins, you get 2 more goblins from the spell being cast, then 4 more from the copy resolving. This leaves you with 8 tokens, 6 of which are untapped, so you can then tap them for copying more spells. It's such value. If Rurik was our creature deck, then Wart is the exact opposite end of the spectrum. Playing out cards like Hull Breach, Decimate, or Primal Command, and then copying them without having to pay any mana, that is powerful. So far we've only examined high-powered cards that can be copied with our tokens, which are easy to accumulate with the help of cards like Parallel Lives or Tempt with Vengeance. But chip damage and swarming isn't really what Wart is about. No. Wart is a flashy raid mother, and simply nothing but fireballing our opponents out of the game will do in my eyes. Because not only can we cast our Fireball, Devil's Play or Red Sun Zenith, but we'll be copying it, and then casting a spell to copy the Fireball, and then copying that copy spell to Fireball yet again. This can deal so much damage you will probably have to get the calculator out. Dirtly? A little bit. Easily boltable? Definitely. Absolutely hilarious when it works. Oh yes. Wart is certainly not a commander that you wish to underestimate. Number 1. One of the greatest problems with Magic as a game is the dreadful moment when you're mana flooded. When there's threats on the table and you've just drawn your 3rd forest in a row. However, with this commander, that's exactly what you might need to win the game. Borborygmos Enraged is a 7/6 legendary creature Cyclops with Trample for 4 generic mana, 2 red and 2 green. He reads, whenever Borborygmos Enraged deals combat damage to a player, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Put all land cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. But the real reason he's at the top of this list is his 2nd ability. Discard a land. Borborygmos Enraged deals 3 damage to target creature or player. So firstly, this is one big boy. And the design of trampling over with damage, then get more lands into your hand to fuel his 2nd ability is great. But make no mistake, it is that 2nd ability that we are here for. And more importantly, the wording on the card is such that Borborygmos is the one dealing the damage from his ability. This is crucial, as our massive Cyclops can be equipped with cards like Snake Umbra and Keen Sense, to create the lovely loop of throw a land at you to draw a card, throw a land at you, draw a card. Coupling this with cards like Creeping Renaissance to get all discarded lands back to our hands to do it all over again is just so good. But this is a deck that truly cares about his lands. Omnath just wants to see them hitting the battlefield. Borborygmos wants them in your hand to throw at people. Sylvan Scrying, Mulch, or Journey of Discovery can help with that. But 3 damage isn't very much in Commander. Let's ramp that up. Ramp. Dictate of the Twin Gods, Gratuitous Violence, and Furnace of Wrath are just what this Cyclops ordered. More damage, less problems. Oh, wait. There is just one teeny, tiny, little interaction that really tips our Cyclops over the top. Due to the fact that Borborygmos is the one dealing damage, if we, say, gave him Infect with grafted exoskeleton, then all of a sudden discarding 4 lands can now straight up kill someone, at instant speed no less. And if you're in a bit of a hurry to win, I suppose you could always just hit your opponents with a 9/7 Trampley Infect creature, then throw the required lands at them to finish the job off. But Alex, he costs too much mana, Omnath is obviously better, and Wart combos better. He throws lands to kill people. Nothing will be more flavorful, weird, and downright hilarious as a Cyclops throwing a forest at someone to kill them. Decks built around this Cyclops always just seem so much more aggressive and threatening, Giving Gruul instant speed answers in the form of potential player removal is insane, especially if Borborygmos is equipped with a Basilisk Collar. Now hitting a creature with a land just straight kills it thanks to Death Touch. All of these lovely and weird interactions are just what helps cement Borborygmos Enraged as my top pick for best Gruul commander. And that's our list. But what do you think? Should the Goblin Mother have taken the top spot? Or how about the Elemental Boltmaster? Whatever your thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and follow us on Twitter @FallCommander. Also, if you're feeling very generous, check out our Patreon page. Links are in the description. And as always, we'll see you next time, folks. And a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone.